Hi warriors, it's Hannah here and welcome back to another video. Today, why you don't need a therapist in eating disorder recovery. Also, why having some kind of mental health professional as part of your team can definitely be super beneficial. As part of this video, I'm going to discuss the differences between counselors, psychologists, psychiatrists, coaches, and the whole lot, because there are quite a few differences. I'm going to be chatting a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages of each, and I'm going to try to help you decide which one may be the best fit for you. So if that sounds like a cup of tea, hit the thumbs up and subscribe button and keep watching. Bear in mind that everything I share in this video is not medical advice. It's just here for entertainment and education only, and it's based on my own experiences and my own research. Full disclaimers below. But anyway, if you agree or disagree with anything I say, definitely leave a little comment because I want to get a conversation going. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Without further ado, let's get this one thing straight. Counselors, psychologists, psychotherapists, hypnotherapists, psychiatrists, coaches, mental health nurses. They all work in mental health, but they're all different. They all require different lengths of study, different qualifications, and they may also take quite different approaches in terms of how they approach prevention, treatment, etc. of mental health and mental health disorders. Psychiatrists, for example, have the longest list of qualifications and the longest training, and probably the highest costs. To become a psychiatrist, you need 4 years of medical training, a year of internship, and 3 years of a specialization. Once in practice though, they can then diagnose, they can provide psychotherapy, they can prescribe medication, and this is obviously a whole lot more than any of the others in the list can ever promise to do. On the other hand of the spectrum, we may have counseling, which is unregulated. Anyone could technically go into the field, though without any training, I doubt they'd be any good and I doubt they'd have very many clients. Know that if they talk about diagnosing, curing, or treating a mental health disorder completely, that's definitely a red flag, and they are definitely not qualified or in a position to do so. That does not make them useless. They can definitely still provide a quality service, and they can definitely do so at a fraction of the price of what a psychiatrist might offer. One session there could be $500, let's say. And whilst it's definitely worth it if you could do with the diagnosis or you need some medications, for any other reason or for more practical help, I probably suggest, and this is my opinion only, looking at one of the other avenues. For example, a counsellor could be perfectly fit to provide more practical day-to-day help, and a psychologist or a therapist could be perfectly placed to help with more cognitive restructuring or brain rewiring. A coach? Well, they could probably do both, and this is where I get super excited. Coaching, this fairly new business, is something I love and am super passionate about, especially over the past few years with COVID and the extensive waiting lines for mainstream treatment. Well, it's provided a viable alternative that research has shown is actually getting some pretty damn good outcomes, both in person and online. Again, before I go into any of the benefits of coaching, let me just caveat again that coaching too is unregulated. It is definitely in your rights to request a coach to send over what kind of training they've done, as some do have a bare minimum. Equally, training isn't everything, and the way you vibe with someone, the kind of support they provide, them just being there, listening to you, motivating you, that is gold. But if they claim to diagnose, treat, etc., again, red flags run the other way. Anyway, as I said, I love coaching. I am so passionate about coaching, and that is because it saved my life. Now that I'm a coach myself, I see it saving a lot of other people's lives too. Coaching can be the perfect combination of different schools of psychology and different tools and techniques, often provided at a fraction of the price. What's more, coaches, me included, often have lived experience of depression or eating disorders or other mental health disorders. And this mutual understanding creates a bond that I never really personally experienced with any therapist or psychologist. Through this understanding, through joint challenges, behavior challenges, neural rewiring, and other tools and tricks, it aims to tackle practical challenges, barriers that are currently standing in your way, and it aims to determine your goals and help you find the ways to reach those goals. It won't be digging at past traumas. Again, that would be a big red flag. But instead, it's helping you to move forward, to look towards your future, to find purpose and to keep going, whichever way possible. Unlike psychiatrists, psychologists, counselors, therapists, etc., coaches tend to work on a much more flexible timeline. They may be available out of hours, either for sessions or for between session support. They may also be able to provide you support in the supermarket or at a restaurant or whilst you are having your dinner. They're not confined to an office or a sofa, which I think, particularly for eating disorder recovery, is a big plus because fear food challenges, grocery shopping, and all of this stuff is really damn important in beating the eating disorder and living a normal life again. I know that eating disorders don't fix themselves in a single session or just with a bit of medication, and instead they require some repeated sessions. They require you to learn the tools to then apply to yourself, and that in between session support too is magic. It means you're not on your own. It means that if you feel that motivation and that accountability on day one, you can carry that through all the way until the next session, rather than feeling it on day one, it dwindling again, and following that cycle week after week and not really progressing at all. So coaching is set up perfectly for recovery. And personally, I went to therapy for years and years and years, and I saw multiple psychologists and therapists, but I don't think any of it really resonated. Then I discovered hypnotherapy and coaching, all this woo-woo stuff that I never thought would really work, and after 2 months, I quit. Not because it wasn't working, but because it had worked. It had made a difference, and I'd learned the tools and thinking patterns and techniques that I needed to actually move on in life. 2 months had taught me what 7, 8, 9 years of therapy had never done. And hence why I'm so damn passionate and probably a little bit biased towards coaching. This coach, this hypnotherapist that I saw, though she didn't require any of the qualifications that those therapists did require, she was definitely well educated, well trained, but more importantly, she listened to me as a person. She didn't see me as a problem to be fixed. She allowed me to look into myself and find my own solutions, my own knowledge, and I promise you it's hidden somewhere in there, even if it may be difficult to access. And I guess that's what she was for. She helped me access that knowledge that was already in there. I was never broken. I just needed help finding myself again. But yeah, maybe I am biased. But also maybe this is your sign, your cue to just try it out. If you do feel stuck, if mainstream treatment isn't for you or isn't working, know that it isn't the only option. There's so many options out there, and they're worth exploring. Doing it all on your own too can be incredibly difficult, so a coach can be there just for that accountability, just to check in with you, just to help you when things do get hard. Anyway, I'm not saying that coaching is necessarily better than therapy, or that therapy is better than psychiatry, or that psychiatry is better than counseling. They're all just different. So if therapy does work for you, great. Keep it up, keep going. But if it doesn't, explore. Find what does work for you. On to a few of the advantages of coaching, and I feel like I've already dropped quite a few into this video, but unlike other treatments, coaching tends to be cheaper, both in terms of session-to-session prices, but also for the fact that they often provide in-between session support, may not have quite so long a trajectory, and provide you with the tools that you can then apply to yourself. In effect, not really requiring the coach anymore after a month, 2 months, 3 months, depending on you. It can be as long or as short, as fast or as slow as you need. Coaching can also be for all stages of life. I have had one client who came to me for her eating disorder and has stuck with me now just because it provided a lot of value for her. And I don't see her going anywhere soon, even though her eating disorder has now gone to the background. Next, coaching often provides much more practical support than other treatment options. So rather than digging into your past, looking at past traumas, etc., a coach might help you face a fear of food. A coach might help you overcome certain barriers in following your meal plan. A coach might help you define your goals and systematically work towards them. This creates an incredible sense of self-mastery and can be really beneficial for just so many reasons. As I mentioned before, coaching also provides a lot more flexibility than mainstream options. So for example, in terms of timing, but also in terms of location, frequency, etc. Coaching, by providing you with your tools and your techniques, encourages accountability, internal motivation, independence, and a solid relapse prevention plan. To me, that sounds like a recipe for success. You get to ask any questions you may have. You get to develop new coping mechanisms, and you're listened to as if by a friend. That is, a friend who knows how to talk back, and a friend who knows how to kick you into gear when needed. Coaching can be incredibly beneficial in multiple scenarios. So for example, when you're transitioning from inpatient treatment, but aren't quite ready to do it all on your own, or when you're transitioning from going from standard therapy to doing things independently, or it can be used in conjunction with a dietitian or another treating professional. So yeah, nowadays treatment doesn't have to be sat down in an office, standard psychotherapy, potentially some meds along the side. No, nowadays you can have a dietitian and a coach, or you can have this other professional and that other professional and this one, and they all come in at different times and work together to create a holistic approach that will actually make lasting, sustainable progress a lot more attainable. Anyway, this thing doesn't just benefit you here and now. It benefits you later in life. These tools aren't going anywhere. And it benefits your loved ones, who now won't be feeling super helpless, but who can now actually be there for you and love you and support you in a way that suits them. A weight will, in essence, have been taken off of their shoulders as you start to take your own recovery-aligned actions. And no matter what option you choose, the important thing is that you find something that does help you make those recovery-aligned actions. That's the goal. Therapy isn't for everyone, psychotherapy isn't for everyone, hypnotherapy isn't for everyone, and coaching isn't for everyone. Coaching and counseling, for example, may not be suited to your needs right now if you are struggling with a lot of medical complications and need medical supervision, or if you require medication prescriptions, or if inpatient treatment right now may be your best way to go and you're at a critical stage where that's really the only way to go. As I mentioned, it can be used in conjunction, but different times call for different treatment options sometimes, and that is perfectly okay. I'm not here, I promise, to sway you in one direction or other. I'm just here to tell you that all of these options do exist and you're not stuck following one trajectory, which for the longest time, years and years, I thought I was. For the longest time, I just thought there was something wrong with me. These treatments weren't helping me. And surely it couldn't be the treatment that was at fault. Guess what? There wasn't anything inherently wrong with me. There wasn't anything inherently wrong with the treatment. But the two just didn't work together. Had I chosen for coaching much earlier on, I'd like to think I would have gotten out earlier. But I guess that's just all what if scenarios. Stop letting it be a what if scenario. Try something new, go for it, jump in the deep end. And that's the only way you're really gonna find out if it suits you. And I do hope it does. Find a treatment that suits you, a professional that you vibe with, that you connect with, where there's mutual respect and mutual understanding. And find a schedule that too suits your needs in your life. If you like my vibe, if you want that more flexible schedule, then I do encourage you to check out my one-to-one coaching, of course. I'll leave the link to that in the description below so you can sign up to a free discovery call. And for a limited time only, there'll be some exciting Black Friday sales. So do sign up now. No strings attached. After this discovery call, you're free to do what you want to, go where you want to. But what's 15 minutes? Go and sign up now. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe, leave any comments as well, and I look forward to seeing you all next week for another video.